Have you ever sat alone in your room at 2 a.m. lights off, just the glow of your phone screen lighting your face, scrolling through someone else's highlight reel, and silently wondering, am I falling behind? Everyone seems to be building businesses, buying homes, launching podcasts, and you're just here debating cereal or eggs for breakfast. I remember that exact feeling. I was 26, and it wasn't some dramatic rock bottom, no tears, no crash, just a quiet, haunting panic. A whisper that kept saying, you're wasting your best years. I wasn't lazy, I wasn't lost, but I was stuck, trapped in a loop of almosts and maybes. That's when I realized something no one had ever said to me. Success in your 30s doesn't magically appear in your 30s. It's built way earlier, brick by brick, in your 20s. And not just from what you do, but what you stop doing. So I made the hardest decision of my life. I began quitting habits that felt safe but were silently killing my momentum. It wasn't pretty, it wasn't Instagrammable, it felt like peeling off layers of myself that I thought I needed. But what I got in return was clarity, energy, progress. And today I want to hand you that same mirror. I'm about to share 4 habits I had to quit before anything started working for me. Habits I didn't find in some self-help book, but in the trenches of my own stuckness. This isn't about hustle. It's about healing. And I promise, if you have the courage to let go of these 4 things, success won't just feel possible. It'll feel inevitable. So buckle up. Let's dive in. Habit 1, the almost addiction. Let me tell you something I wish I'd heard years earlier. Starting things is easy. Finishing them is what separates the dreamers from the doers. For the longest time, I was the king of almost. I'd get an idea for a business, and I'd be up all night mapping it out. I'd start a workout plan, buy the gear, watch every motivational video. I'd tell my friends, this is it. This is the one. And for about 2 weeks, I was on fire, hyper-focused, inspired, obsessed. But right after that, the fire dimmed, the resistance crept in. And I'd start thinking, maybe this isn't my thing. Maybe it's not the right time. Maybe I'm not meant for this path. So I'd quit, quietly, no big announcement, just a slow ghosting of the dream. Then I'd move on to something else, another shiny idea, another new challenge. And you know what I called it? Being multi-passionate. I wore that label like a badge of honor, telling myself I was just wired differently. But in truth, I was addicted to the dopamine of starting, addicted to the applause of announcing something new, addicted to the fantasy of who I could be without ever doing the work to become that person. Because finishing would mean putting myself on the line. It would mean facing the terrifying truth that maybe, just maybe, I wouldn't succeed. And that fear kept me in a loop, a never-ending cycle of almosts. But here's the brutal truth. Almost doesn't count. Nobody remembers what you nearly did. Success doesn't reward starters. It rewards finishers. If you want to build something meaningful before 30, whether it's a business, a body, a relationship, a skill, you have to become someone who finishes. Someone who stays when the excitement fades. Someone who shows up when no one's watching. Someone who pushes through the valley of doubt and boredom and keeps going anyway. It's not glamorous. It's not viral. It won't get you claps or likes or instant validation, but it builds something far better. Results, growth, mastery. Every time you finish something, even something small, you train your brain to believe in yourself. You build trust with your future self. So let go of the high, the newness, the thrill, and lean into the hard, because that's where everything good lives. Success, fulfillment, confidence, they don't live at the starting line. They wait at the finish. Habit 2, saying yes to everyone but you. When I was younger, I thought success meant being liked, being the dependable one, the yes person. So I said yes to every invitation, every favor, every project, even when I was already drowning. I thought saying yes made me valuable. I thought being available made me loved. But slowly, quietly, I started to vanish. I became reliable to everyone, except myself. My calendar was full, but my heart was empty. My days were packed, but none of it was mine. I'd show up for others at 100% and return home at 0. And what I learned the hard way is this. Every yes you say to the wrong thing is a silent no to something that could have changed your life. When you say yes out of guilt, out of fear, out of FOMO, you're not being kind. You're abandoning yourself. You're saying no to your focus, your health, your dreams, your peace. It's not selfish to protect your time. It's strategic. It's not rude to have boundaries. It's responsible. And it's necessary if you ever want to build something meaningful. One day I looked at my week and couldn't find a single hour that belonged to me. That was my wake-up call. I started with one no, and a small one. I declined a meeting that had no purpose. I skipped an event that I only said yes to out of obligation. And the world didn't collapse. In fact, for the first time in a long time, I could breathe because with every no I said to something that didn't matter, I was saying yes to something that did. More rest, more focus, more creativity, more alignment. Your energy is your most precious currency. And if you spend it all on things that don't serve your vision, don't be surprised when you feel broke. You are not obligated to set yourself on fire to keep others warm. Let that sink in. So if you want success before 30, or success at all, start protecting your yes. Audit it, guard it, use it wisely. Say no to one thing today that doesn't align with your future. Just one. And watch how your life slowly starts saying yes back to you. Habit 3, mistaking motion for progress. There was a week, I remember it so clearly, where I checked off 47 things on my to-do list. 47, emails sent, files sorted, notes cleaned up, apps reorganized. I even color-coded my calendar and synced my Google Drive. By all accounts, I was killing it. But when I sat down Sunday night and asked myself one simple question, what actually changed in my life this week? The answer hit me like a brick. Absolutely nothing. I was exhausted, yes. Busy, beyond measure. But forward? Nowhere. Because motion isn't the same as progress. See? We've been taught that movement equals momentum. That being on the go means we're growing. But here's the raw truth. Motion is just a loop. You can run in circles your entire life and never leave the same spot. I wasn't building a future, I was maintaining a blur. And the world we live in worships that blur. Hustle culture tells us that being busy is a badge of honor. That if your calendar isn't packed, your worth isn't real. So we fill it. We say yes, we pile on, we confuse activity with achievement. But productivity without purpose is just noise. A louder, flashier form of avoidance. It keeps your hands full so your heart doesn't have to face the truth. That you're not moving toward the life you actually want. I had to teach myself to slow down, to step back, to replace activity with clarity. Every Sunday, I ask myself now, what did I actually move closer to this week? Not what I touched, not what I replied to, but what I moved forward. And when you start thinking like that, your life shifts. You stop trying to do more and start doing what matters. Because real progress is quiet. It's focused. It's intentional. It's not flashy. And it doesn't always come with a dopamine hit, but it builds. And one brick at a time, it becomes a life that's not just busy, but beautifully aligned. Habit 4, waiting for permission. There was a time, and if I'm honest, it lasted for years when I kept waiting. I waited for someone to notice me, for a mentor to say, you've got what it takes, for a boss to promote me, for a publisher to pick me, for the world to validate that I was finally ready. I thought success was something granted, a door someone else had to unlock for me. I truly believed that once I was chosen, once I had permission, that would be the moment everything would start. But the moment never came. No golden ticket, no email saying, congratulations, your life begins now. Just silence. Until one day, while sitting in my tiny apartment, staring at yet another opportunity I didn't apply for because I thought I wasn't ready, it hit me like a freight train. Nobody is coming. And that realization, it wasn't crushing, it was freeing. Because if no one's coming to give me permission, then I don't need permission. I am the permission. That shift changed everything. I stopped asking if I was allowed. I stopped waiting to be discovered. I stopped hoping for someone to validate my voice. I began leading without a title, creating without an audience, moving without certainty, and something wild happened. The world started responding. Not because I was suddenly more talented, but because I was finally showing up, fully, consistently, unapologetically. Here's what I've learned. You don't need a degree, a title, or a following to start living like the person you want to become. You don't need a plan to take a step. And you certainly don't need the world's permission to do the thing that burns in your chest. Your dreams are not pending approval. They're waiting for action. So if there's something inside you whispering, try, don't wait for it to become a shout. Say yes. Say it now. Say it before you're ready. Because chances are, you already are. Success before 30 isn't magic, it's math. It's not about luck. It's about leverage. And you can't leverage your time, your energy, or your potential if you're bleeding it out through habits that slowly erode who you're becoming. Let go of the almost. Let go of people-pleasing. Let go of fake hustle. Let go of waiting for someone to say, you're ready. You've got one life, and your 20s are your foundation. What you lay down now will carry or crush you for decades. So here's the question. Which habit are you ready to quit today? Drop it in the comments and make that decision real. Subscribe if you want more mindset shifts like this, because this channel isn't about motivation that fades. It's about transformation that lasts. And hey, you're not falling behind. You're one brave, no BS decision away from catching up. I believe in you. Now go build it.